baby, the caring laugh. Hi baby, no one understands me. Hi baby, the caring left. Hi baby, as long as I sing. Hi baby, I'll let the birds in. Hi baby, no one understands me. Hi baby, the caring left. Hi baby, as long as I sing. Hi baby, I'll let the birds in. Hi baby, no one understands me. Hi baby, the caring left. Hi baby, as long as I sing. Hi baby, I'll let the birds in. To get me out of my head. Is there anyone out there to get me out of my head? Is there anyone out there to get me out of my head? Is there anyone?
Hello everyone, this is your sister Sinette and Angela. Hope that you are having a beautiful Saturday. Sitting in front of my tapestry painting here of an enchanted forest. Don't look too hard, you may get lost. You may see things moving around, you may see lights, you may see some interesting things, so don't look too hard. Anyway, I wanted to come forth just to do a brief share. Let's first, talk about the outfit of the day. As you probably have seen, I am wearing some zebra mules. Don't know if they have a name to them. I don't remember where they're from, but they are not real zebra skin or fur. They are faux. These pants I got, or jeans they are, I got these over 5 years ago from this store we used to have called BB. And I used to love their clothes. These jeans, when I first saw them, were pretty pricey. They went on sale, and I finally got them. I knew they were cool jeans because my teenager at the time, I believe she was, or early 20s or something like that, she really liked them, thought they were pretty cool, and I wore them to an NDRE concert some years ago. This black top, oversized black top, kind of tapered in the arms, tight in the arms, but loose otherwise. Got off of Amazon for like $27. Got various colors. I may even go back now that I know how it fits, but you can't really count on the size because I don't order a lot, but I've heard that you can't really rely on sizes too much from Amazon. This is a medium. It fits like a dress, but you can tuck it in as I did here, and it fits really, really nicely. You can wear it off the shoulder. I can wear both off the shoulder, etc., etc. I would have liked it to be a little bigger in the neck so I can let it down, but this is fine, just like this for now. And let's see, what else? Oh, these silver earrings are from Argento Vivo. These nice sterling silver earrings. They're not expensive, and they not cheap, a good quality, affordable jewelry. I don't have any other pieces actually from there, but they seem like good quality, affordable earrings, but not cheap at all. Let's see. Oh, this ring I got from Pandora many years ago. And makeup, no makeup except for a little eyeliner, a little mascara, and my Rihanna lip gloss. My lip gloss stays forever. I've had this one I recently got a couple of months ago, but the other ones I've had since she's been out. With her makeup, I didn't really get anything else. And other than that, that's all the makeup I have on. And let's see, jewelry. No, I talked about jewelry. Perfume. I started off wanting to wear First Kiss. I'm really into that, liking it more and more. It's supposed to be inspired by Perfumes de Marley, Delina, and I really, really liked it. But one day when I sprayed it on, it smelled just like rose. And I was like, well, And it was beautiful rose. It didn't really smell like a cheap rose. It was a very deep, mysterious rose. I was like, that's all I could smell. Then I sprayed it again, and then it smells like the usual First Kiss. And today when I sprayed it on, it just smelled like that rose scent. And I know with perfume, depends on your environment, it depends on your mood, it depends on your chemistry. Perfumes can smell different on you different days, and perfumes does that to me a lot. So what I decided to do was mix it, so I wouldn't be too rosy. And I decided to mix it with Jean Paul Gaultier's La Belle. And this is a beautiful package to this perfume. This is just so gorgeous. He went into the detail, making sure he got the shape of her bun inside of this with the woman's torso. It's just a lovely, this should get an award for best packaging. It's just gorgeous. It's only 3 scents or notes in this perfume: pear, vetiver, and vanilla. And for me, it's more sweet vanilla, some vetiver, and then the pear. So when you spray it, you have to take this off. This is the stopper to the perfume. But when you spray it, it's a lovely spray. And like I said, I smell the vetiver, the vanilla, and then eventually some pear. And the pear is not a sweet pear or powdery or juicy pear. It's just a warmed pear. The vanilla is what I think makes it really, really sweet. But the combination with the First Kiss and this pear today is really lovely. I really like it. Sweet and turquoise rose. And the First Kiss, it has, I don't remember all the notes, but I believe it has the turquoise rose, the pear, the oud, I think it has some, let's see, what else? Some oud, I think it has a peony, what else? Some lychee, and it's a beautiful scent. So I may have to renege on the word that I wouldn't buy a $300 perfume. Now that I've worn it, I may consider getting that. I do have some expenses. Like I said before, I do splurge on perfumes, but I may see how I like Perfumes de Marley. And now let me change this a little bit. And I always do this, but it's not just First Kiss, it's First Kiss exclusive. So it's a little darker, it's a little richer, it's a little creamier. Even though I haven't smelled First Kiss without the exclusive part, but I really like the creamier feel to it. It's very comforting, it's very rich, and I really like it. That's the outfit of the day. Anyway, going on to the subject of the day. And so many things that we can talk about. So much is going on in the world, but I want to continue the conversation about mental illness and go a little further, just talk a little bit more about schizophrenia. And there's so many kinds of schizophrenia. There's so many DSMs and axes that we can talk about. various forms. I could never really address them all, but I do want to mention it, talk about it, know that it exists. Mental illness has always existed. It's just being more prominent today with all of the stress, and that's one thing that that initiates or starts or can be the pinnacle point of why certain mental illness are happening is due to stress. And there's been an increase in global stress, with everything that's going on, how we handle it, how the world is handling it. And it's just so much going on. And I do want to talk a little bit about schizophrenia, psychosis. There's paranoid schizophrenia, there's auditory, there's hallucinogenic, I can go on and on and on, tactile. You see, you can hear, you can feel various things that other people aren't seeing. But is this necessarily not a reality? Maybe perhaps it is the reality for that particular person at that time. And I always say that we always have voices. Everybody have voices in their head. Your voice, because it's familiar, you don't consider it. If there's other voices that you may hear in your head, they bother you sometimes, and you recognize it as not normal. And this is how some people's like, I hear voices and they know it's not their voice. So, as I mentioned before, there are several different dimensions of this world. And just because some of us are not or do not have access to it, we don't consider it normal to hear voices other than our own. And like I said, we all hear our own voice because we have our voice that tell us to, go to bed, our voice to eat. Their voices, and you can't hear it because it's very familiar, but we're often thinking, we'll often have thoughts or emotions. Those are all voices, but they're, like I said, they're familiar, so we don't consider it odd. But we all have voices in our head. And sometimes we see things, or some of us see things that other people can't see. But just because, others don't see it, and it's from a different dimension perhaps, does it mean that it does not exist? Or is it that other people have the issue of not being able to see what other people see? And I can go on and on and on, what people call paranoid or schizo or split personalities. And we all have these different personalities, and some of them are more pronounced than others. Some of us let those different types of personalities have their own character, and sometimes we can control them and sometimes we don't. Not saying that none of those exist upon myself, of course, but I have seen it happen to other people. I've been around people that has happened to, as I mentioned before. Me working with psychiatric patients, or when I was in college, being around a lot of patients that I didn't realize, not patients, but friends that I rode the bus with that had psychiatric issues that I didn't know that they had, but I felt that it was different, but I felt that it was normal because we all are different. But anyway, schizophrenia, is it harmful to ourselves? Is it harmful to other people? Do we accept it? These are the type of things I feel we need to consider before we label ourselves or other people with having issues. And like I said before, is with psychiatric or psychosis or mental illness, with everything that's going on in the world, not saying that mental illness doesn't or has not ever existed. It's more pronounced now because, like I said, stress is more of a factor, and it's more of a pinnacle point, or it's more of a situation where we feel that how is it that we are to distinguish what is mental illness and what is what we call normal today? especially with everything that's going on, the extra stressors, the extra intensity. So, what is this cause of the rise of mental illness? Not saying that it didn't exist, because it did, but the extra stressors in the world is causing a rise in mental illness. So, what are we going to do about it? One of the things, as I said before, there are many different worlds. There's different people, and different people are the worlds. You are your own world. There's only one earth, but there's different worlds in each of us. And I feel this way because, we have different beliefs, perspective, perceptions of life, and how we view life, because I can look at something and see something totally different, or hear something totally different. Several different people can look at a movie, I say, and have different views, or not see certain things, or see more than what's there, or see less than what's there. There's different ways of looking at things, so many different ways. So how do we decrease this rise in mental illness, specifically with schizophrenia, paranoid schizophrenia, what some people are gonna call it, with the rise in what some people are calling what they called conspiracy theories. Conspiracy theories are what they say fake news, not true. And as I mentioned before, there are so many truths, so many different truths, and people really, really believe in that truth. How do you tell that that's not their truth? Is that really paranoid schizophrenia? Is it schizophrenia? Is it bipolar? We label ourselves as such. I know there's different people that's written different books, people with different videos that talk about conspiracy theories. And I've looked at shows before, and I've seen certain videos of, when I studied psychiatry, of different types of bipolar, schizophrenia back in the day, and how they talk. And a lot of things that they're talking about is what conspiracy people are talking about now. Some prominent YouTubers are talking about now, is what books are talking about, or books are written about. They were classified as psychiatric diseases back in the day, or very paranoid schizophrenia, and they were put on medications. It's a true story. You can probably even YouTube certain psychiatric diseases, paranoid schizophrenia, bipolar disease, and you will see some of those same topics that people were talking about. Conspiracy theories were classified as psychosis back in the day. So now it's pretty common, and like I said, the rise of mental illness, what we're going to classify as mental illness, because some of us are not going to be able to adjust to them, is a real situation. And this is evidence in a book that I started reading. I couldn't really finish reading it, and I read sometimes more than one book at a time. But this book, Behold the Pale White Horse, is a very, very interesting book. It basically talks about Milton William Cooper, talks about some of his experiences, some of the things that he believed, that he's seen, that some people would classify as a conspiracy theory, lies, and some people really, really do believe in the things that he's written, that he's seen. It says here, Bill Cooper is the world's leading expert on UFOs. Is this a conspiracy theory? Is this real? Is this fake news? The only man in America who has all of the pieces to the puzzle that has troubled so many for so long. And this goes into the deep state. It goes into the John F. Kennedy assassination, conspiracy theories. It goes into chemtrails. It goes into aliens. It goes into etc., etc. And he offers his proof of these things. And I'm more used to novels, and I'm not necessarily more into his aspect or his truth, or what some people call conspiracy theory. But I can experience, or I can appreciate the research on what he did. And it still holds true today. Some people still believes in these type of situations. Like I said, this is going to be on the rise of what people feel is going on in the world. Different things, even with this situation with this virus situation. People have their theories about that, and this vaccine that I'm just baffled. I don't know about any type of vaccine. People talking about this certain chip, about we are being watched, or going to get this vaccination and being watched. And I've mentioned in my videos before that I feel that they are way ahead of us, and this has already started, beginning with our videos. Not videos, beginning with the iPhones that we have. I don't think there is a way around it, beginning with if you were born, if you have a license, if you have a birth certificate, if they want to track you, if they want to follow you, if they want to chip you, it's basically already done. I don't see the correlation really between a vaccine and that, perhaps, but there are some people that really, really believe in this situation. Perhaps it do. I don't really think that there's no real thing such as a conspiracy theory if people really believe in it, because like I said, there's different worlds and different people, and some of the people can make things a reality in their world, and they hold true to this. I mean, I've seen certain situations, people reenact themselves as actually being we have someone in my hometown that think he's the king of England, and he walks around in a cloak and a crown, and he talks as such. He's not on the street all the time. I don't know if it's a situation where he has to be in a mental institution at some times and they let him out, etc., etc. But you see people reenacting different scenarios. If you're watching closely, they are indeed in their own world. And sometimes medications help, and sometimes it don't. Sometimes it worsen it. But more so than not, I've seen, especially if people are having issues with hearing voices or not being able to sleep because they have interruptions with voices or seeing things, that medication does help. The medical field is not all bad. If it was, I would not be in it. But the medical field is not all bad. There are some things we could do better. There's more holistic we can incorporate in, and I think they started to touch on that just a little bit now. But it's definitely not bad, because believe me, if you fell off a cliff, you are not going to look for holistic ways to heal a bone, even though there are places, believe it or not, that can do that. But most of us don't have access to it. But you're not going to look for a holistic way. You want to go to the nearest emergency room so you can see an orthopedist to help you, repair your bone. But I can go on and on about the different aspects of schizophrenia, because it's you're in your own world, basically, or you can be in your own world. Some people bring it upon themselves. Some people, it just naturally happens. Some people, what they call fake it. And all of that in itself is mental illness. But schizophrenia, like I said, you're in your own world. You may feel that you hear, you see, you have a different aspect of the world than other people. And I'm not relating, today, I'm not relating the conspiracy theory to schizophrenia, but what I am relating it to is that the correlation as to the conspiracy theory today, back in the day, it was considered a mental illness, but it's more and more prominent today. someone suggested that I see this movie, and I saw it last night. And it's actually not a movie, it's a documentary. And actually, in itself, it's a conspiracy theory of its own. But the movie was called Social Dilemma. So I did go and see it, and it was nothing new. I've mentioned it, I've said it before. And like I said before, they are way ahead of us as far as social media is concerned. If you are more of a consumer and you are just looking at social media, you are more so the target. Just because you're not actually using it, people are being used as not necessarily uh, clients or customers, but as users or consumptions, because they're playing on your psyche. And as I mentioned before, with certain things that I was thinking before, or some things that I talked about out loud before, the next day or a little while later, I look at my phone and there it is. But like I said, they are way ahead of us. And, problem, reaction, solution. Even if people think that this so-called virus is man-made or whatever, and they're going to create a a vaccine to chip us or whatever, if this is conspiracy theory, then it's already done. They don't have to give you a vaccine to make you controlled by the world. And as I mentioned also before, with the Elon Musk situation, while we're all consumed in other situations, Elon Musk and his launching of his rockets and his spaceship into space to put all these satellites, and we are oblivious to it. Things are already happening right underneath our nose, and we have no clue. Like I said, I don't feel that there is going to be a chip in the vaccine. In fact, the chip is already in your phone. It's already there. We're already being watched. If they want to watch you, it's already done. Specifically, if you have a phone, any type of phone. Specifically, if you are around people that have a phone or access to a phone, or if there are certain satellites in your neighborhood, etc. We are already being watched. And, back in the day, as I said before, all of this can be considered psychiatric, mental illness, paranoid schizophrenia type of situation. So is this what they will call a mental illness of today? Are we all, or most of us that believe in conspiracy theory, or even are paranoid about using social media, or believe certain things are happening to us or against us, etc., etc.? Is that considered a mental illness, or will it be considered a mental illness? I say again, we all are our own different worlds. We all have our different perceptions and the way we look at things and the way we perceive things. So no, you are not going crazy. What you see is real. Do you feel comfortable with it? Is it a harm to yourself or others? How are you going to deal with it? And, if you feel that the medical field is going to help you with medications, perhaps you can try that. But like I said before, that doesn't necessarily help. We are multidimensional beings, and this world has different layers to it. I tell people all the time, everything in this world is alive and well. There's things that go on above us that we are not aware of it, as well as below us. Just think of us as ants. Even though ants have their own world, they are a very intelligent world, but they are being observed just as we are being observed as well, of multi-level and under-level worlds as well, if that makes sense. But anyway, I just wanted to come forth and just talk about the rise in mental illness, and just touch on paranoid schizophrenia, or any type of schizophrenia, as I mentioned before, and how it can be perceived as what's going on in the world today. Are we all going crazy? If you haven't seen the movie Social Dilemma, I suggest looking at it, but I don't think it's anything new that we are not already aware of. Some of us, what they call uh, conspiracy theorists, are now already aware of. But I don't think they told everything in that documentary. It's not really a movie; it's a documentary. And like I said, itself, some people will consider that a conspiracy theory. But these are actual people that worked in these social media platforms, in the backstage situation, as some people will call it. So, can you put down your phone? Can you be without your phone? I know I can. I've done it. I'm not really on social media. I can be social, but I can also put it down as well. Even more so. Even if you do put it down, the world is going to continue to evolve into it. You can either take yourself away from it, or you can get into it and get to know it, to become one with it, or you can be without. It's up to you. Anyway, hope that this was helpful. Kind of bring some light to the situation and just something to really think about. I like to always keep my mind open and thinking. And, if we didn't have an open mind to certain situations, I think that's more of a mental illness than anything. You have to keep an open mind because anything is possible, and anything. And so these are the type of things that make one wonder the type of world that we live in today. Like I said before, you can either be a part of it or you can take yourself away from it, but it continues to evolve. And some of the people that you're involved with or that you are involved with are in it. Some of us are in it more than others. But like I said, it's going to continue to evolve. What would happen if we decided not to be a part of it? What will happen? Will we be able to function, work, and socialize with people as such? Or will we decide that we don't want, the rise in technology? As I mentioned before, I believe perhaps just something to think about. What if the computers or technology were here even before we were here, and we are just rediscovering it and it allowing us to rediscover it? So someone made an interesting point the other day. It's like Zoom has been here back in the Brady Bunch times when they had the theme song. They had the different faces and people were actually moving around and they were looking at each other. That was a Zoom. And we are doing so much Zoom now. But like I said, technology has been here for a while. If you believe in this so-called matrix, like I said before, is quite advanced. They are quite way ahead of us, and we are more evolved than we believe or know that we are. So it's up to us to find our way into this multi-tech world that we are evolving into. And some people, like I said, mental illness is going to be on rise. I don't know why I'm relating the two, but I am. But I guess I am anyway. But the rise in the things that we feel, the way that we think, the way that we socialize with others is definitely changing. And how are we going to be able to cope? Are we going to be best friends with technology and ourselves? Are they separating human involvement, human touch, human interaction to incorporate it with technology? Are we going to be one with technology? Is that where we are headed? Is this how they plan to eradicate human psyche, human, the way we think, the way we evolve, as it looks? The human mind, is it evolving, or is it that technology has a mind of itself and it's evolving way past the human mind? Something to really sit back and think about. Anyway, that's it for now, and I hope that you all have a beautiful Saturday. Take care.